So, come on. Thanks for the help, citizen. Alright, so nothing. I wish more games had this fast travel like this. Fast travel, that's not fast travel, that's a little help. Magnus, you're slow. So let's talk with him then. Him. It is late, come back in the morning. Oh, really? Hello. No, no. What is that you need? I say, any news from among the upper classes? Oh, he cannot help us. I think we've exhausted the rumors. Virgil, don't bother. Who's this guy? Hello, bloke. I go by the name of Tom Grack. Say you wouldn't happen to know a fellow name of the Cesare? Would you? You wouldn't happen to know a fellow name of the... Okay, yeah. Well, no, I've not had the pleasure, I'm afraid. Ha, that's obvious, or you would not have referred to it as a pleasure. Well, if you happen to see him, could you tell him to get his bum over to the subterranean kiosk on the Kensington Broadway? He was meant to have met me here over an hour ago. Any ideas to where this fellow might be? Most likely at the bottom of a bottle somewhere, unless I miss my guess. Okay. I'll let him know you're looking for him if I see him. Splendid, thank you very much, sir. Good day. Okay, that was a little bit weird. Noted swordsmith gives lecture. Yes, boy, come here. What's the headline? Let's buy this noted swordsmith gives lecture. Also, I want to buy older newspapers. What is this? Who is this Don Throg? Noted swordsmith gives lecture. Controversial theories spark debate. Richard Leeks, master swordmaker, held a lecture in Stillwater regarding the similarities between scientific disciplines and the study and execution of magic. Leeks posited that the traditions of hex binding and artifice do not differ in any great way from the modern progressive methods of science. Attention to detail, the specifics of ingredient, shape, and size, which are like a second nature to the hexsmith, are mirrored by the blacksmith, stated Leeks. A mage judges an artifact in the same way a machinist judges his tools. The goal is the same in both schools: effect change on the world through careful, regular method. Despite angry hisses from the mostly elven audience, Leeks was calm and collected throughout the entire lecture. Leeks is well known for his Stillwater blades, which he forges himself and then has enchanted by a local wizard. There is no reason why the technologist and the mage should be at odds. We use similar techniques and at the very least should respect each other's craft. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Mr. Dixon doesn't understand why you know, these two things cannot get along. Except for the obvious, magical people are feeling sick around machines and vice versa. City Council. The levy of incomes. And the chance of precipitation. Let's see. Don't Trog still at large. This might be a criminal of some sort. Cowardly half-orc still in hiding. Don Throg, the infamous half-orc labor agitator, has been missing since Captain Wheeler of the Tarantian Guard was forced to demonstrate the effectiveness of the Guard's new mechanized gun on the unruly anarchist protesters in Kensington Park. Oh God. The unlawful assembly of orcs and half-orcs is thought to have been organized by Throg to bring more unrest to the city. That Throg is nothing but a troublemaker, said Captain Wheeler. He should be considered extremely dangerous, and if one of our good citizens happens to encounter him, they should by no means try to speak with him or have any dealings with him whatsoever. Any sightings of Throg should immediately be reported to the guard at once. This is a guard matter and should be treated accordingly. Captain Wheeler is being considered by the Industrial Council for a commendation for his recent heroic efforts, with only Councilman Willowsby, Babcock and McGeehan dissenting. I've heard about Willowsby. City Council open to the public.
What is it that you want of me?
I need to find the base of operation and dump all the stuff there. So, is this open? Okay. Gnome. Half orc. Half elf. Let's talk with the bartender. What is it that you need? Oh, this is for training. Any rumors from the raid routes? It is a pity I do not have any news to sell you. Wow, we really talked about everything with everybody. So give me a drink, please. There we go. Now I have to remember that this gives you some... Yeah, my strength increases and the constitution increases. But the rest is... Oh well, we will just wait it out for a while. Guard. Sog, you need a good suit too. Then you look the part. Who are you? I give you greetings, good sir. And I to you, good gnome. Might I ask your name? J.M. Morad, at your service. Might I also inquire as to your designation? But of course, I am Mr.Dixon. What brings you to this fine establishment, Mr. Dixon? Allow me to recommend the ale. It is unquestionably the best in Tarant. I think Sog mentioned this place. I've just arrived. Might I ask you some questions? Ah, but of course, ask what you will. I will do my best to answer. So, you're really just too nice. I'm afraid you need to die. What? I am new in Tarant. What sights do you recommend I view? Oh, the sights to behold here in Tarant. If you do get a chance, the locomotive is a must on any sightseeing tour. I think we already went there. We still need to take the train. We could go to Ashbury to pick up somebody. I have heard a rumor of the beast. I will surely be awed by its power. To move away from technology, I might recommend the Great Library. At no other location will you find such a magnificent reservoir of knowledge. It is truly incredible to immerse oneself in our history. I highly recommend it. Oh yes, we forgot to visit it while we were in the University District. I shall delight in a visit. Might I ask you another question? Nothing really. Alright. I think you can gamble with the other people, and maybe there's somebody that wants to kill you, or maybe not. Maybe this is a very clean bar. You can gamble, you can play riddles, you can play dice. I did that only once, when I was playing the debutante. All the rest is locked. Let's wait then. Okay, this is very early, but it will do. Yeah, it's early. Song still has that lantern. Maybe we could sell some stuff. What are you? You're an Halfling. Get out of my sight, you grotty ruffian. Your mind is always fresh, it should be. You never use it. You insolent worm, how dare you? Your mind is on vacation, but your mind is working overtime. Bugger it, you are beyond redemption. You have been most helpful, sir. What? Mr.Dixon took his liberty with this halfling. I think he is a halfling. Okay, so I want to go to a general shop if I can. Yeah. Yeah. I completely missed it. What is this place? HD Parnells. I think it's... oh, it's very early. Come on, now you have to get me in. Hello, can I be of service? So I have removed the saboteurs that have been plaguing you. Thank the gods, I thought we would never be rid of them. Please go inside, Mr. Bates will be anxious to thank you. You don't know how anxious I finally am to meet him. Oh wow. Guy is rich beyond belief. Look at this house. Guards everywhere. Manservants. The kitchen. What do you want? Good day to you, citizen. Look at this. Ah. So, I guess that at some point you could use these uniforms to blend in if you wanted to enter this place by any other means or routes. That is clever. Here we go. Look how many doors. I know I shouldn't do this, but can you try and open it, Mr. Dixon, just out of curiosity? Of course. I'm not even trying anymore. Gilbert Bates.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Gilbert Bates, as I'm sure you have surmised. I'd like to extend my thanks to you, sir, for putting an end to the difficulties at my factory. I've been informed that there is a matter you wish to discuss.
Quite so. I'd like to ask you about this ring.
Great gods! How did you come by that ring?
How? A gnome gave it to me as he lay dying.
A gnome? What manner of tomfoolery is this? Are you certain it was not a dwarf?
It gets me every time. A gnome? Oh god, gnomes. Why would a dwarf have your ring?
That is a long story, and one that does not concern you. Suffice it to say that it should have been in the possession of a dwarf.
Well, it wasn't a dwarf, too skinning, and he had no beard.
Yes, I am familiar with the dwarves and their customs. Tell me, was there anything distinctive about this fellow?
He had a scar over his left eye.
By Alberic, I knew it in my heart. That was no gnome. It was Stena Rockcutter.
Who's Stenar? Why would a dwarf shave his beard?
Stenar was an old friend of mine. But for him to cut off his beard, by the gods, it's unthinkable. But please, tell me, did he say anything to you before he died? Did he say anything about me?
Well, he said he had escaped to warn us about the evil.
The evil? What evil? And where did he escape from?
Well, he didn't say. I was hoping you would know what it meant.
Something horrible must have happened after I... Did he say anything else?
He referred to you as a boy. Why would he do that?
I do not know. Even though dwarves reckon time differently than humans, he must have realized that I am now an old man. Perhaps it is because I was but a boy when I betrayed his trust all those years ago.
How did you come to betray him?
That is quite the long tale. A tale of my shame, it is.
Well, since I'm involved in this, you better not leave anything out.
It is ironic that my greatest mistake is that which brought me such wealth. As a youth, I was enamored of all things dwarven, so I sought out the nearest clan and attempted to impress them with my grasp of their technology. They laughed.
Of course.
It was obviously a novelty to them, a ridiculous human who had a natural bent towards technology. I suppose it didn't help that I was a mere 14 years old at the time. I became something they humored to entertain themselves. Stena was the only one who truly called me friend in all those years. and betrayal is how I repaid his friendship. It was he who first showed me their steam engine, as he knew I could appreciate the beautiful intricacies of its design. They had left it to rust in a corner, as they had very little use for a device that would reduce the need for sheer physical power. Imagine a dwarf relying on a device to do his digging for him. It's preposterous. I asked him if I could tinker with it, perhaps improve on it, as I knew this was the key to becoming truly a part of the dwarven world. I quickly devised a way to use it to power a pump for draining the mines. When I fell all over myself trying to explain it to them, laughter was, once again, their only response. I knew I had to somehow gain their respect, so I hastily sketched some schematics and set out to prove my theory. The struggling human mining company that I brought the plans to offered me a share in their mines for the steam pump. I was ecstatic. I had not a care for their mines or their money. I desired vindication. When I returned to the dwarves to boast of my accomplishments and be welcomed into their clan, they were gone. The inventions came quickly after that, fueled by my anger and confusion. How could they have denied me my place amongst them after all my labors? Somehow I felt I could still prove myself to them. I continued searching for them in all my spare moments, but to no avail. But then they came, the robed ones. They appeared to me late one night, and they warned me to never speak of, nor try to find the dwarves again. Still being a mere lad, you can imagine the terror that put into me. As my wealth and power grew, I shook off some of my youthful fear and hired the first in a long chain of investigators to locate Stenar and his clan. None of them ever returned with any worthwhile information, and some never returned at all. The ones that did told of vicious traps and creatures attacking them from the shadows. As word of these failures spread, it became more and more difficult to find souls brave enough to take on the challenge.
But why did he send me here with your ring?
He knew that ring would lend veracity to your tale. I gave Stenar that ring the last time I saw him. Now he is dead. If only we knew what he meant by the evil.
Oh, well, the Panari think the evil refers to someone named Aronax.
I don't put much stock in religious ramblings. I'm more concerned with who killed Stenar and why, and what all this has to do with my relationship with the Black Mountain clan.
So what is to be done now?
There must be some clue left in the Black Mountain mines. I am certain of this. You seem to be a resourceful individual. Would you be interested in searching the mines for some clue as to their whereabouts? I would make it worth your while, I can assure you.
Well, I am involved in this because, I mean, they're trying to kill me as well, I think because of this ring, so... Well, I'd like to ask you some further questions before I commit myself.
Of course. What do you wish to ask of me?
So, I mean, everybody knows you for having invented the steam engine, but you didn't invent it?
I have never actually claimed that I did. It was just people's assumption. I have invented any number of devices based off its principles, but I did not invent the first one.
Is that not dishonest, taking credit for something you didn't do? Well, actually, I don't think Mr.Dixon would see a problem with that. Because... I don't know. Let's ask him anyway.
Yes, it is. And it torments me every day. I was but a child when the robed ones gave me their dire warnings, and I was terrified. They were explicit that I was not to reveal the origins of the steam engine.
Okay, so that's weird.
Of course. What do you wish to ask of me?
Why the need to impress the dwarves after they rejected you?
You don't understand. I was orphaned at a young age. The dwarves represented everything I wanted my family to be. A tight-knit clan, and the respect I had for their brilliance with technology. I made the mistake common to youth. I thought intelligence equaled compassion. I needed to belong, to find that I had some worth.
Understandable. But no, intelligence doesn't equal compassion. So you were orphaned. What happened?
My mother died, bringing me into this world. I believe my father died then as well, even though he continued to exist in the world for some 8 more years. When he could stand living no longer, he took his own life.
But abandoning you like that?
He left me decently provided for, and with his grasp on reality becoming more tenuous each day, I believe he felt I would be safer in the care of others. The last thing he did in this life was to give me that ring.
And then you gave it to Stenner?
That is how much his friendship meant to me. I was devastated when he disappeared with the rest of the clan. I believe I felt more deserted and alone then than I did when my father killed himself.
Okay.
Of course. What do you wish to ask of me?
Can you tell me about your business?
Well, as you know, I am the foremost manufacturer of steam engines in Arcanum, virtually without competition. I am working on a prototype for a smaller, more efficient engine right now, as a matter of fact. I also have various interests in other technological endeavors.
How have you devastated your competition so?
It is not much of an accomplishment when old Cedric Appleby is your chief competitor. Poor Cedric. Always was a bit of a blundering fool. I really wish I could have convinced him to come work for me.
Why? I mean, if he's such an idiot.
Cedric and I were close friends when we were children. He was furious that I wouldn't introduce him to the dwarves. Can you imagine? I had a difficult enough time gaining their respect without his simple-mindedness. After I invented the steam engine, he began to despise me. Strangely enough, I wish he was still my friend some days.
Well, you're not showing. You've not been very understanding with him since, well, I don't think Mr.Dixon really would like to get involved in this.
Of course. What do you wish to ask of me?
Well, maybe I will explore the Black Mountain clan mines for you.
Splendid! Here, let me mark your map with the location of the Black Mountain mines. I am certain there must be some clues to be found there. Please, return as soon as you have found anything.
Okay.
Oh, one more thing. I would like to purchase my ring back from you. I'd give you 200 coins. It would mean quite a bit to me. My father gave it to me before he died.
All right, here it is.
Much obliged. I will speak with you when you return.
Okay. Okay. Oh, this is, what's his name? Chuka? What's in here? Oh, everything is locked. Yeah, I cannot open that. I can't open even a simple chest. Yeah, we need to level up, level up, level up, level up. Level up. And then we'll raid his house. Yeah, Mr.Dixon. He doesn't really mind honesty now, does he? Yes, we have to sell that stuff. Jungle Dawn. The Amulet of Ntala. Ooh, the Elven Funerary Stone. Ah, Black Root. Yeah. Ooh, those 400 coin. I think we could go to the Elven Cemetery and then... Okay. So things are proceeding smoothly enough. We will, I think Mr.Dixon is going to look at the situation in the... for Cassandra Pettibone. I think that's her name. She really wants an Elven Funerary Stone. And beside his superstitions, against his superstitions, I think Mr. Dixon is way too curious to miss on that. He's just like that. He's terribly afraid something bad is going to happen, but he cannot help it. Physician found brutally... What? Tell me the headline. Physician found brutally murdered. Give me. Partner wanted for question. Dr. Theo Wilford, Tarant's most highly respected physician, was found late last night in his office, apparently the victim of a brutal murder. The authorities have informed us that Mr. Wilford's life was extinguished in a most gruesome manner when he was stabbed through the back with a writing quill.